So you're a real estate wholesaler or a flipper and you are interested in what happens with organic SEO and getting motivated sellers. Well, I'm here to show you everything you need to know, spanned down into a few-minute video. That way you know if it's the right thing for you or not, and if it's worth it at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, we are all trying to get as many high-quality motivated sellers as possible for the cheapest cost in the easiest way, and I honestly believe that organic SEO is that way. But thank you for clicking on the video. My name is Dawson, so I appreciate you watching here. But throughout this video, if you want to look into exactly what it would cost for me to do your SEO, PPC, or Google Business Profile, feel free to click the link in the description, marketingformotivatedsellers.com. I would love to chat with you and see if we're a good fit for each other. But go ahead and watch the rest of this video and see if it is. So with organic SEO, as you can see here on my screen, this is my own personal company. Obviously, I do it for people all across the country, but this is my own personal company. Now, as you can see, Sioux Falls, South Dakota is where I primarily do all of my deals, 100% of my deals, actually. And there's a big reason for that, which is a separate conversation. But at the end of the day, I'm only in a market of 250,000 people, and I'm able to bring in at least 10 motivated sellers every single month. Obviously, you can see here, Sell My House Fast Sioux Falls, website's at the top, along with our Google Business Profile is doing well, and another keyword. You can see there's PPC at the top here, Buy My House Sioux Falls, our website, our Google Business Profile. And having this amount of credibility in Sioux Falls in an area of 250,000 people provides 10 motivated sellers a month. Like I said, imagine if you weren't in an area or an area bigger than that to get motivated sellers. Imagine that. It's crazy how many people are actually out there on Google looking for motivated sellers, and it is only growing by the year. I know there's people who say ChatGPT, AI, all this stuff is going to take over, and simply that's not the case. If you look at the data over time, there's more people on Google every single day than there ever will be. And so I don't plan on Google slowing down anytime soon. So if it's something you've thought about, I definitely would want to get started in SEO if I were you. Now, who is it for? Who is the right candidate where it's worth your time, energy, and money to get at the top of Google? Well, in my opinion, I would make sure that you are doing at least 3 to 5 deals on a local basis every single month, minimum. The reason I say that is because you want a consistent basis of deal flow because it's going to take some time, which we will talk about timelines here later. But when you start getting consistent deal flow, I think, in my opinion, that SEO is one of the last things you should get into. You should have your outreach handled. You should be talking to pre-foreclosures. You should be using bandit signs, doing all this other stuff to scrounge around deals using a lot of hard work. Then from there, that's when you'd want to get into SEO. Because when you start up SEO, which is going to get me into how long it takes, the time frame, it's going to take anywhere from 6 to 12 months or more, depending on how competitive the market. In a market like where I'm at, if I was starting something completely brand new, I would say anywhere from 6 to 9 months would get you a very, very good result. Now, obviously, my results are shown from 3-4 years now of consistent work on the website. And it's something where 6 to 9 months, you will provide a very good result in an area of 250,000 people, right? 6 months or so is what I would say for, on average, is around 6 months. Now, in an area that's a little bit bigger, maybe less competitive, maybe has 500,000 to 750,000 people, probably 500,000, you're talking anywhere from that 9 months, right? And now you get into the million plus, you're now talking at minimum 9 months and max 12 months, right? Is million to million and a half. Now, if you're getting more than that, 1.5 million or more, we're talking major, major markets. You're talking probably around that 12 to 18 month mark. And it's very, very competitive in those areas. And so that's why it takes so long, and we'll kind of go over. And like I said, I will have videos in the description of exactly how to do SEO if you're interested in exactly how we do it, because I make videos straight up for how I do this stuff for my clients. So if you want to go ahead and try to do it yourself, go ahead, by all means. But if you don't have time for that and you'd rather just continue to do deals, feel free to click the link in the description. I'd be happy to chat with you. But that's the realistic reality of timelines with SEO. It's unfortunate. I wish it was a lot easier, but obviously good things don't come quick, right? A lot of this stuff, the reason I love SEO so much is because it is the most powerful way to get motivated sellers for the cheapest cost at the highest quality and the easiest, right? These people are literally looking up keywords like sell my house fast, buy my house, or whatever these keywords are. You're popping up, they're filling out your form. There is no more high intent than that. you're going to get very, very, very high quality motivated sellers, the most high quality you'll ever receive. Usually on close rates, out of the 10 that we do get per month, around 10 on average, 10 to 15, we usually close about 1 in 3. So very obviously good conversion rate because, like I said, these people are insanely motivated, local and real. Obviously, you're going to get people who are on the market. You're going to get maybe some wholesalers here and there who are going to reach out to you. But at the end of the day, if you are there at the top, you are going to get consistent motivated sellers. No matter where you are, you could be in a town of 100,000 people and you still will get consistent motivated sellers here and there. It's just very insane how powerful really SEO is. So that's kind of time frames for you guys. So like I said, to kind of reiterate, in an area like mine, 6 months. In an area of 500 to 700,000 people, you're talking around that 9 months. Million to million and a half, you're talking 12 months, and 1.5 million people in that population or more, you could be talking 12 months or more, maybe even up to 18 months to actually start seeing results with SEO. So keep that in mind, and that's why I like to say I would be having your system set up to get 3 to 5 deals every single month, because you will be spending a little bit of money each month on SEO without getting results for a while. And obviously, like I said, good things don't come easy, but it's obviously a lot more painful when you're not doing deals. So that's another thing to keep in mind here. So what about, we've already talked about the results you can really get from this. And I'll go into the results that you can actually get. In an area of 250,000 people, we get 10 motivated sellers on average every month. 500 to 750,000, you can get up to 15 to 20, right? But the very good average basis through all markets of the United States is anywhere from 15 to 20 motivated sellers per month per million people. I would say closer to 20, in my opinion. You can get 20 motivated sellers every month, depending on how your results are and how well of a job you do. But down the road, 20 motivated sellers on average every single month per million people. That's what I would roughly say. Obviously, for us, we get 10 motivated sellers every month, and we're in a market of 250. But we dominate. I mean, we're everywhere to be found. So that's something to keep in mind. That's a very conservative estimate there. And so that's kind of the results you can get. Like I said, we're closing anywhere from 1 to 3 of these. So you do the math. If you're in a market of a million people, even if you got 20 motivated sellers, you divided that by 3, that's around 6 deals, right? Or more. And so, and with no effort and very cheap, right? And so now here comes the $1 million question: is what is the cost for SEO? And this is where you'll see a lot of different people a lot of different agencies like mine who have different pricing structures. Typically, how I do it, I like to do year-long, 6-month or year-long contracts with a monthly payment of whatever it is, just because SEO costs money to do. It costs money. You have to pay to play sometimes with SEO, and there's a lot of processes on exactly what I'm doing with SEO. And like I said, watch those videos down below if you want to understand SEO in a nutshell of exactly what you do to actually get a website up there, because it takes a lot of time, effort, and money to do. And so a market like this, 250,000 people, I would charge anywhere from around probably anywhere around $1,000 a month, roughly. And then you get to your 500 to 750. That's where I'm charging anywhere from that 1,500 to 2,000, depending on the competitiveness. When you get to that million to $1.5 million, I'm at least charging 2,000, anywhere from 2,000 to 2,300 roughly. But if you're getting $1.5 million or more, that's where we're going to have to be 3,000 to 3,500 a month minimum, just because of how crazy your website has to be to get to that point. It's expensive, don't get me wrong, but those major markets are not to be messed with, and you really have to pay to play in those markets. Otherwise, it simply won't work. And so you want to make sure you have the budget a little bit behind you. And so this may sound expensive, but if you really compare it to PPC, which I also am a big fan of, a lot of people on average are spending, at minimum, anywhere from $2,500 to $5,000 a month just on PPC, getting way worse conversion rates, right? Obviously, you don't have to wait as long with PPC, but you get my point. Is if people are willing to spend that for PPC to get at the top of the search results, I think you'd be okay with spending that for the return that you would get per lead, right? Obviously, the cost is going to severely outweigh what you're actually going to make from it if you get to the top. So that's kind of the cost of SEO. Now, that's really SEO in a nutshell. Everything you need to know about, if you're right for it, the cost, the timelines, and really what you can get out of it. Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? For everything that I've said. And I've said completely honest as far as how everything works with me, my agency. You may go to other agencies and they'll be doing different things. But for me, myself, kind of how I do it from one real estate investor to another, I thought I would just come clean, completely honest as far as what you need to know when it comes to real estate investor SEO. Long story short, it is definitely worth it. If you're doing 3 to 5 deals every month, you definitely need to be, not you should be, you need to be at the top of Google and become the premier cash home buyer, because you are missing out on multiple deals every single month that you would otherwise not have access to at your fingertips. And so with that being said, like I said, if you have any questions for me, feel free to comment below, like and subscribe so I can keep making these videos here. But feel free to click the link in the description, marketingformotivatedsellers.com. I would love to chat with you and see if we're a good fit for each other, and we can make each other do very, very well and make your business do very, very well and get a lot of motivated sellers. So, like I said, if you have any questions, comment below, but I appreciate you watching.